have no business in getting into a war because of the ISIS lookalikes of Gaza. They attacked us. We are responding to that. And now Hezbollah is thinking about dragging Lebanon and the region into war. That would be a big mistake. And we have said very clearly, we are prepared to defend ourselves. We are defending ourselves in the south against Hamas aggression. Yes, Hezbollah is a big and powerful enemy. If they attack us, that will be more difficult, but we are prepared, committed, and capable of defending ourselves against them. And at the end of the day, Hezbollah and Lebanon will pay a very heavy price if they aggress against us.
Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus, we appreciate you joining us, spokesperson for the IDF.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And that is the update on that developing story, John, as I believe that we have pictures of Marine One in Maine.
Yeah, the president touched down in Brunswick, Maine. He's going to get it out of there.
I really don't understand
And then he's headed off to Lewiston, of course, to
how people can't speak of both. Okay? What you want to do is speak of both. You want to speak of Palestine. You want to speak of Israel. Okay? You want to speak both. You don't want to sit down at a table where someone can't say, wow, you know, that's pretty incredible. You know, what happened with the towers in New York. It's incredible what happened, you know, on October 7th, of course. And it's also very odd to sit down and speak with someone that doesn't want to address the Holocaust. Okay, so with all of what I just said, it's not possible for me to even talk to anybody if we can't find the balance on both sides. It's interesting to me. I've spoke with people, and it's incredible to me that they don't want to talk about the beheading of babies, people being started on fire, women being raped until their pelvis bones break. It's all on TV. It almost gives me a flashback real quick on people that said that George Floyd wasn't murdered. I don't care if the guy was, a criminal. I really don't. I care about the act itself. That's why we have prisons, because in prison, that people go to jail for things. It's not your right to kill somebody being a police officer. The video was there. We all watched the video, and still today I meet people in my family, okay, that freaking say, oh, George Floyd wasn't killed by that cop. It's like, is there something wrong with your eyes? There must be something wrong with you. And you know what? Here we go again, okay? I'm not denying what George Floyd was or had a record or committed these different things. Anybody that says that somebody deserves to be killed and not bring up the fact that innocent children were being killed on October 7th first, not say, well, you know, they're angry, you know, they're mad, or this or that. You know, it's wrong, okay? It's wrong actually for both sides. I'm not saying every Palestinian is a terrorist. But what I am saying is people have to protect themselves, okay? Things change when it comes close to your front door. And your Jewish family's murdered, killed, raped, beheaded, set on fire, babies cut out of stomachs. It's all right there. You can see it all. I mean, we've got hostages, and still people are sitting there saying, well, what about Palestine? Well, you know, we do want to understand that. But hey, you can ask somebody all day long about George Floyd, and the honest ones will say that's great, a 17-year-old video that, okay? And we were able to watch it, okay? We were able to see Holocaust. We were able to see these things. You gotta find the balance if you want to sit down with Miss Cool. Because if you can't sit down and you can't talk about what's happening with the Jewish people and what happened at the, you know, look at
out 1/3 of the Israeli army to our borders. A large part of these are forces.
It's really sad, when you meet people or see them on TV, college people, everybody, sitting there saying that they don't want to talk about October 7th. They don't want to discuss it. I find that very strange. Do you? Okay, if you don't find it strange, it's like time to do an inventory of your soul, your spirit, your mind. Of course, I've seen Palestinian mothers and people writing their child's names on their calf. Of course, I've seen it. It's a tragedy. War is horrifying. But
Indeed, Steve, thank you very much, Steve Harris.
what's even sadder is when people have both information from both sides and still deny the hurt and pain and murders and torture of innocent people that were in Israel in their kibbutz, not bothering people that day. No matter what you think, nobody deserves to be set on fire, okay? So if you do, then, I would say you need to seek some therapy, that maybe half of your brain isn't working, because if your whole brain's working, you're able to receive both sides. Come on. These are children. Children from both sides. Killings, murders, innocent women, hostages. And let's talk about terrorists. Did you forget about who the terrorists are? Look at them. There they
Colonel Conricus elaborated on. My thoughts are this, and I agree with the Colonel. Hezbollah doesn't really want to get into it with Israel. And the reason why is because, one, Israel has a lot of experience in Lebanon, Martha. We know those villages. We know those towns. We have a ton of technology. Let me say this. We're not even close to a third of our resources. Not even close.
So, like, if you're in the United States and you've got an opinion, I want to hear it. But I don't want to hear if you can't sit down and talk about both sides. Okay? You got to talk about both sides. Okay? You just can't sit down with me and talk about one. Forget it. It's not going to happen.
And in Arabic, so Mr. Nasrallah's people can understand me, which means everybody is within Israel's reach. Israel's stretching out its legs right now. They've got plenty of special operations assets and tons of infantry.
I don't know why people haven't seen the video of, them lighting tires on fire, rolling them into people's houses, blood all over the place, babies beheaded. I guess people really just need to actually realize that I can't hear their voice. I can't hear it. The only thing I can hear is like some type of weird denial, Nobody has a right to cut a baby's head off, right? For anybody out there that's standing up for Palestine, you might want to put that in your recipe too. Mix that up real good. Put it in the bowl, okay? Mix it all up. And if you still can't look in that bowl and you can't see the recipe that you're stirring, you might want to sit down and be quiet, because if it came to your door, then you could find the balance in both wars, both, what's happening here. And let's not forget the Holocaust, will you? God bless you today.